Are you getting what you want from your child's teacher? Stick around because today I'm covering 5 things that parents want from their child's teacher. Hi, I'm Rebecca with the Parent Teacher Bridge, where you can find the ideas and resources you need to empower you to become your child's most influential teacher. Today, I'm talking about 5 things that parents want from their child's teacher. And as I go through these, I want you to evaluate, are you getting these things from your child's teacher? If your child's teacher scores well on this, make sure you are showing them appreciation. If not, make sure you're taking the steps in order to get what you want from your child's teacher. Before we begin, click like and subscribe. And as always, leave a comment below if you have any questions or comments. A good relationship and communication between a child's parent and a child's teacher is invaluable. Are you getting what you want from your child's teacher? Let's take a look at these 5 things. Do you remember the first time that you got your child a babysitter? Do you remember how much you screened that person and how important it was for you to hand over your baby or your toddler to someone to have them watch them while you were away? Well, a teacher is no less important. Just add up all the hours that your child is at school and how you are not there. You're not able to contact them just anytime you want. And you are entrusting these teachers, principals, staff, whoever's at the school, you're entrusting them with your child. So hold them to that responsibility, just like you would when you were first getting a babysitter for your child. The first thing is a safe environment, both physically and mentally. So let's go through some of these. When you send your child to school, you are entrusting that the adults there are going to keep your child safe in these ways: safe around tools, safe around other children, safe during PE time, safe on the playground or in the restroom, safe during an intruder on campus. But you're also wanting to keep your child safe mentally in some of these ways: safe to ask for help when it's needed, safe to approach the teacher and ask a question, safe to participate in class. Now, most parents I talk to want all of these things that I've included on the list, but I urge you to take some time and ask yourself, is that the case with your child? How is your child's teacher doing? How is your child's school doing in all of these areas? Sometimes we're so busy from day to day, we don't take time to stop and reflect. So if you're watching this video right now, I urge you to do that. Then ask yourself, what are you personally doing to ensure that these things happen at your child's school? Parents, did you know that you can get my 5 quick tips to immediately help your struggling reader? Be sure to sign up for that in the description below. I'm sure it will help you. Parents, are you curious about the idea of homeschooling? I have a free homeschool guide. It's called Survival Guide for the New Homeschool Family, and it will acquaint you with some ideas common in homeschooling that you may not be aware of. And it's a very good beginner's guide to the idea of homeschooling that is absolutely free, and I will leave that in the description below. Number 2 is clear and timely communication. Oh, how frustrating it is when a parent needs to find out information from the child's teacher and they aren't hearing back. Probably just as equally frustrating as it is sometimes for the teachers when they're trying to contact a child's parent and they aren't hearing back. It can go both ways. But since I'm talking to parents, we're talking about teachers. Has your child's teacher made it clear to you the best form of communication? The one that he or she prefers. That might be email, text message, some kind of app. Make sure you find that out and give it a test. Send an email and double check that you get a response back. Now, find this out at the beginning of the school year. And if your child is switching classes, keep in mind it may be different for each teacher. So you may need to keep a little note on your phone handy. What is the best way to contact each teacher? If you're not getting replies, you need to reach out to the principal and vice principal to get them to help you ensure that the teacher is getting your messages and will respond back to you in a timely manner. I consider 24 hours a timely manner, other than if it's on the weekend. Don't expect a response before Monday. It is difficult to only rely on your child for accurate information. Children sometimes misunderstand, especially the young ones, but even the older ones sometimes they can forget. And so it is critical that the child knows that there's an open line of communication between you, the parent, and the teacher. The child knows that they will be held accountable that way. Good communication in the beginning is going to help you avoid bigger problems later on. So be sure to implement this. Number three, parents want a game plan for improvement. So if their child does make a poor grade, they want to know, are they able to retake the test? They want to know, will they know ahead of time if there's going to be a big test? Will there be a study guide? Can we get a list of the skills that the teacher is going to cover? Are there things that can be done to help out your child if they are struggling, such as preferential seating, not sitting in the very back where they're going to get distracted more, or sitting close to the teacher, not sitting by a distracting child? Will their child get a word bank if they're doing a fill in the blank page? Will they get to see that there are words to choose from? There are lots of different accommodations you can get for your child if you just ask. Your game plan might include getting a tutor. If it does, be sure to check out my series, Getting a Tutor. I include lots of tips and advice on how to get a tutor. Number four, every parent wants inspiration for their child. Now, you're going to know if your child is inspired when they come home from school. They're going to be talking about some of the things they learned in class, something funny or exciting that happened in class. And if your child switches classes, chances are they may even have a favorite teacher in there somewhere. So ask your child how school is going. Allow them to tell you some stories about what happens in the classroom. You're not there, you don't have a camera. You can't enjoy those memories with your child unless you ask them about them. Now, wouldn't you rather have a child who is excited than have to deal with a child that dreads school every single day? So it's pretty clear to see if your child is excited about a particular class or a particular teacher. Is that the case? Evaluate your child's teacher and write it down. The fifth thing that parents want from their child's teacher is they just want the basic standards taught. They don't necessarily need politics and beliefs worked in from the teacher. A lot of parents enjoy sending their child to public school because of all the diversity, and they have many friends from many different backgrounds, and they're fine with that. However, when it comes to the classroom, they don't necessarily want a teacher to be pushing certain politics or beliefs into that. Some families just really aren't even into those things. And they would just rather their child, if they're in math class, learn math. If they're in reading class, learn reading. If they're talking about politics from a history standpoint, they're in a history class, I'm sure they're fine with that. But they just there's nothing no way that the parent can screen any of that is occurring, and some things are best left taught at home. So be sure you look into your child's standards for their grade level and subject area. This is found quite easily on most state government websites. If you go to the education tab, you can find out what exactly is supposed to be taught in each grade level and in each subject area. And if you find that your child is having other things taught, then you may want to bring that up to your child's teacher and principal. Now, I've seen just as many news stories as any of you have, and I sometimes personally wonder, how do these teachers in school have time to teach all of these extra things that may not even have anything to do with the standards in their classroom? After all, we all did suffer through 2020, and the school children suffered so much learning loss during that time. And I've been a middle school teacher before. I understand how sometimes you have kids come to you that are greatly behind on their reading skills, and you just need every second that you can get to help them. There is no time to teach extra things like this. So ask your child how things are going for them in their classroom. And if you have your child talk to you, you're going to find out a little bit more. If you see assignments that are being sent home, you're going to have a better idea of what is actually being covered in class. So, how did your child's teacher do in these 5 areas? Leave a comment below. If you want to brag on your child's teacher or your child's school, leave a comment there as well. Good teachers can be hard to come by, and if you are blessed with one, make sure you show appreciation to him or her, because you may not get that situation the next year in school. Now, if you have any questions or comments, be sure to email me, Rebecca@theparentteacherbridge.com. You can also check out my blog, theparentteacherbridge.com, and just click on the blog tab, and you can see the typed out versions of any of these videos that I do if you would rather share those with a friend. Remember, parents, you are your child's most influential teacher.